What is up, everybody? We're going to be jumping into this right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Road rage with a pigeon. Hey, he's got a quad lock on. Whoa. He's got a quad lock. Kind of blocking. He's got a red tab on it. Matches his bike. Very nice, very nice. Now, imagine that pigeon hitting you right in the face. Okay, so think about that. You know, Fabio got hit in the face a long time ago. It kind of messed up his career just for a little bit when he was on that roller coaster. Man, I just dated myself. But yeah, imagine getting hit in the face going 53 miles per hour. Okay, so even if it's just like a tiny pebble that hurts, this is why you wear a full face helmet. It's still going to knock your head back, but hopefully it doesn't knock your hands and cause you to crash. So thankfully it did hit the fender, but man, just imagine this little beak, you know, wherever the head is, right into your cheek, right into your eye, especially if you're wearing a helmet. Wear your gear, guys. It's got a quad lock, though. That's pretty cool. All right, new rider, new bike, first ride ever, crash. All right, turns to the right. Okay, slow it down. A little too fast. A little too fast. Hey, ooh, found an escape, though. Didn't hit the tree. That's a good thing. Kept the bike upright. I think it was more off-road, not a crash. You know what I mean? A little bit more off-road.
Left and right.
I mean, if you consider crashing into the brush is the thing, yeah. Yeah, maybe it's a crash. Maybe it's a crash. But let's take a look at this. Like, how do we prevent something like this? So you definitely want to slow it down before a turn like this. So I would say about, 15 miles an hour-ish. The main thing here is actually turning. So if you start to panic a little bit, make sure you roll off the throttle and really look where you want to go. So look through the turn. Okay, so one thing I learned in snowboarding as a little kid is that you look where you want to go. It's pretty simple as that, but the reason why that works is that when you turn your head, especially when you get your head almost over your shoulder, your chin almost over your shoulders start to move. And when your shoulders start to move, your hips start to move. And with snowboarding, when your hips move, you kind of go where you want to go. So you start to, do the leafing and everything, and you start doing it. So same thing with motorcycles. When you're having your hands on the handlebars, you look where you want to go. You start to turn. Okay, you start to turn a little bit. So you really want to emphasize that look and that turn so that when you turn, you can actually go towards your looking instead of just kind of sitting there. So practice that. Go into a parking lot. We have the Smart Rider drills that would definitely help you out there. 20 drills, easy to do. 10 cones, that's all you need. And you're going to practice your lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, and all these different things. It's going to practice your left turns, right turns, change of directions, and it's going to cause you to move your hips. It's going to cause you to do friction zone, throttle control, counterweighting, counterbalance, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to really help you out in situations like this when you are starting to go a little bit too fast. It's going to teach you in the parking lot, hey, you can actually go pretty slow and still make these turns. It gets you confident in really slow maneuvers, so you could take this really slow and it's not going to bother you. A lot of people think that if they go too slow, they're going to fall over. Well, you practice your tight turns and your figure eights and everything in a parking lot with the Smart Rider drills, you learn that you can take a lot of speed out of this and still make this turn. So go practice. We've got a digital booklet on the store. We got a physical booklet on the store, downloadables that go with it. You get a phone-friendly version. Lots of cool stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, riding through here. We got a corner coming up. Not too bad. See how it's like no chevrons indicating a sharp turn. Switching lanes. Whoa! Did we check our mirrors? Now, I know typically we're the fastest on the road. Okay, yeah. We're typically the fastest drivers on the road. Now we see that we're passing this vehicle, so he's making an assumption. I've done this before. I pass this vehicle, I'm going to assume that nobody is in front of them because there isn't. And when I get in front of them, there it is. I passed them up. So we're typically the fastest on the road, so we never have to worry about this. But then this is when we get a little bit complacent, where we're not checking our 360 situational awareness here. We're not checking our mirrors. We're not checking our head checks because we're doing that assumption thing. I still practice it. So I know that I pass this person. I know for a fact that I am faster than them. When I get in front of them, there's nobody there. And if anybody wants to come up behind me, they're going to have to go faster. So I'm already doing that assumption, but you don't practice bad habits. So it's like I'm doing that and I just switch over. No. The good habit, even if there's a vehicle there or not, is to check, go, and then do it again. Okay, so you're going to check over your shoulder, check your mirrors, do an indicator, and then switch over. That's what I'd be doing because you never know. There's going to be surprises. We've seen motorcyclists do this, but it's crazy to see a car doing this. It's really crazy to see a car doing this. It surprised him. You can see it in the shadow. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to this one. Okay, left turner, hands on the handlebars. You guys all give me crap for that. All right, let's take a look at this one. We're coming up to an intersection. We should be automatic orange stage, prepped and ready. We are paying attention to the fact that we have lights up here. That's going to tell us, hey, we have to really focus, cover our brakes, find escape paths. Remember, we're planning our ride, making sure that we are doing everything possible, position for safety, locating hazards, assessing relevant threats, and navigating active ones. So we see a left turner. You start to see him starting to switch over a little bit. And if you don't know what that looks like, it's this right here. Okay, so he's starting to switch. He's starting to turn this way. Okay, you start seeing the tires turn a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, and then he's not slowing down. Okay, right here, already path of travel. So you hear the engine braking, so he's rolling off the throttle right now. It's going to reduce power to the rear wheel, which is going to cause it to slow it down. So he's actually slowing down, but it's not going to be using his brakes. Okay, so you still want to be covering your brakes. You still want to be doing whatever it is that you can do. Maybe look for an escape path to the left, to the right. Maybe do a total stop. Everything that you might need to do, but he's rolling off the throttle. He's clapping it out. Now we don't have the person in our lane. Hey, we're pretty good. It kind of self-corrected. Everything's pretty easy at this point. But be very careful around intersections. Keep your hands on the handlebars because we did have a line of sight issue when this vehicle passed. You don't know if there's another vehicle behind this vehicle. You can't see. Line of sight, he's blocking it. So now you know there's nobody there. So he's clapping, but yeah, now you know there's nobody there. Okay, not a big deal, but I'm always paying attention until I'm outside of the intersection. So when I'm right here, I'm back into yellow stage. And then I go back into orange stage, back to yellow stage, back to orange stage, depending on what it is. All right, Satan's R1.
My navy, bro.
Oh! Imagine having to pull over and check your nav.
Gravel, man.
Yeah, gravel. So gravel is definitely going to be a factor in this situation. So we're going at a pretty high rate of speed. Looks like we're on, let's say 45, 55. There's an intersection coming up. So we're not going like highway speeds. There's no intersections on highways, just merging. But we're coming up to here. We're going to go off on the shoulder. Definitely lots of gravel. You can see the construction. Lots of indicators that, it's not going to be the best area. And then you can just kind of tell that there's gravel here. So he's going to pull over for, a good reason. He's going to check his navigation. And this is exactly why I like to have my phone on the handlebars. We use quad lock here. There's a link in the description for quad lock. And the reason why I use quad lock on my handlebars is for this. I have my GPS. It's right there. Even if it's not playing sound, saying I got to turn right, turn left, or whatever it is, I can see the turns. It's a lot like, a mini map. It's like a mini map on a video game. I absolutely love it. That's all I use it for. I know where I'm going, but I'm going to do a quick check. So grab yourself a quad lock. That's why I use it. But if we're going to come up to here,
My navy, bro.
so we're applying a lot of rear brake. So what we should be doing is slowing down and coasting, but we don't have enough room really on this shoulder. So honestly, I would turn off right here at this intersection and turn off and find a better spot. But overall, it's a bad situation. It turns into a high side, and he falls down. And this is why we have gear. You want to protect your hands, shoulders, elbows, knees, feet, head, because he did fall down. And that's such a beautiful bike. That's a shame. That's a shame. But gravel is going to be something that can get you. Always pay attention. Always pay attention. Don't slam the brakes when you're getting onto gravel, basically. Yeah, I know. All right, here we go. Lane filter in California. I almost got hit doing this. Is there going to be an open lane pattern? Let's see. People are moving for him. Very good. Love to see that. Yep. See? Saying thank you. Hey, that's a good one. If you're in California or in any place that lane filters, do you do this right here? So moving over, allowing this space cushion for other motorcyclists. So he's doing a quick thank you, doing a little blow-by kiss. Absolutely love seeing good drivers doing some good things. Okay, now we're acting like idiots here. Highly recommend you don't do this. Almost hit a side of the bicycle. The cyclist was not anticipating people going 100 plus in an area like this when it's supposed to be, let's say, 40. So here's one of the biggest problems that I have with people speeding and doing stuff like this. First and foremost, you have to have amazing, like top of the line situational awareness and the most fundamental. You have to be an expert at basic skills, and then you have to really understand some more advanced stuff. You have to really understand your bike. You have to really understand, the tires and suspension. You have to start tuning things. To get to this level, you really have to either buy a really expensive bike, like a race-ready bike, or really upgrade your bike, because your brakes need to be like really good. Your tires need to be grippy so you can do amazing swerves. You need to have steering dampeners so you don't get, speed wobbles. You have to have full gear just in case you do crash. And you have to just be on constant crazy alert, and then still have to worry about other vehicles hitting you, potholes, gravel, side of the bicycles and pedestrians, just like intersections. You have to ride in red stage the whole time. Red stage, you are an active alert. You're paranoid. You're constantly having to get yourself out of dangerous situations, swerving here, and we see it right here. I like to ride in yellow stage, maybe bounce around into orange stage. Oh, I do bounce around in orange stage with intersections, corners, and any hazardous situation, because I'm planning my ride, making sure that we're doing everything. But I don't want to be in red stage the whole time. We're in fight or flight. The adrenaline. I get it. You guys want to do adrenaline stuff, but you do understand that a constant dose of adrenaline like this actually screws up your nervous system. It screws up everything going on. It's constantly dilating, constricting your blood vessels. It's causing you to go tunnel vision. It's causing all these crazy things to happen physiologically with your body. And at the same time, you have to be at top tier, top of the line, like situational awareness. You're in constant fight or flight mode, and it's not good for your body and mental health. Let's slow it down. Let's go to yellow stage. Let's slow it down. And if we have to go into orange stage, because we're going through town. But this right here, I don't know. My life is way too stimulating already that I don't want to have something like this. When I ride, I want it to relax me. I have a stressful day already. I don't want this to be adding to it. Not recommended. Hey, Fort Lauderdale. Love the area, by the way. I went there in October. Great area I could definitely see riding around. Yeah, it was just another left turner kind of getting in our way. Not a big deal. Just stunts. Going over the guard. There's a curb there, buddy. Hey, thankfully he's got protection for his motorcycle.
Turn it off.
Yeah, you got to turn it off. It's still moving. It's still moving. There was a curb there. He was going to do a nice U-turn. Good job on the U-turn. But there was a curb right in front of him. You can see it just a little bit. Yeah, there's a curb there. There we go.
Allez hop. Hospital flip.
Oh, is he doing? Hey, he's practicing out here. Oh, this is the area to practice. We typically have parking lots if you want to really practice, track day stuff. But like if you're out here just practicing your wheelies, this is a good area to practice. You don't have any other hazards other than maybe like a bear coming out of the trees. No, but you don't have cars. You don't have other people. You just literally have the road, gravity, and your skill set. And that's exactly what we do in a parking lot with the Smart Rider drills. It's what you should do in the MSF. That's what you should do at a track day. That's what you do right here. You could do it right here, or you could do it in a parking lot, stunting and everything. So practice your skills. This is great. You fail when you practice. You learn a lesson. You learn not to do whatever it is again. You just continuously learn. Obviously, you don't want to be damaging your bike, and you also don't want to damage your body. Yeah, so that's why you protect your body with good gear. You protect your bike with cheap parts, or you get cages for it, so you can continuously practice, so that a mistake does not end your practice. A mistake is then just going to teach you something. So hopefully he's doing fine. He's got full gear. Good job, man. It is what it is. What'd you learn from it? That's really what it is. So Lister, weird name. Anyways, lane filtering bus or van. What the? Oh, it wasn't a lane filter. It was it's an actual lane.
I've got it on camera.
They both unsure what happened.
Got that on camera. Yeah.
Trying to tell someone their name is Lister or something. It was difficult. The helmet surrounded by noisy traffic. Is that all that's there? Okay, let's go over this one. So we talk about when it's like lane filtering. Okay, we talk about that open pattern that we always have to watch out for. It's basically just a merge area. So the middle lane is moving, and then this lane is not. So this lane is not moving. This lane is moving. So when somebody sees that this lane is open and their lane is like, I'm stuck, sometimes they just gun it. And so when we're lane filtering, let's say we're lane filtering right here, we're just kind of like going this way. This is typical between vehicles. If there's an open spot and that other lane is slower, people are going to merge into you. So this is why we're always aware when we're lane filtering, we're right next to other vehicles, when they're kind of stuck and impatient and then you're in an open lane and you can just continuously go, always be aware people are going to jump out because that's really scary. And this is what happens. And it hits and they get hit. Now, who's at fault? Yeah, the car driver's at fault because this other guy's in the lane. But if we get hit, who's at fault? Yeah, the car driver's at fault. Who's responsible for your safety? You. You're responsible for you to wake up in the morning and go to work. You're responsible to get to work and actually do your job right. You're responsible to go home. You're responsible to feed yourself. You're responsible to make sure that you get home. You're responsible to get 8 hours of sleep. You're responsible for you, unless you're a dependent, unless you need mom or dad to take care of you. But if you're an adult, you're responsible for everything. That includes this. When you get out in the road, you're responsible for your safety.
Well, there you go. Off me. Bruh.
Cuts me off, gives me the wanker sign. I wouldn't have stopped, but I wasn't about to let that go. Okay. Can we hurry up? Sorry, Nathan, I'm drinking your energy drink.
What are you doing?
Oh, is this just arguing? We're moving on. Hey, is that Deathstroke? When did you get the second eye? Come on, nerds. You guys know what I'm talking about. Having a lot of fun riding. Not very good visibility.
What's going on, YouTube? I wasn't planning on recording this early on the day, but
Okay.
there's a cop behind me, so we gotta make.
Is this a cop thing? Yeah, it's a cop thing. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. I don't really care about cop things. Cops are just doing their job. All right, we're going pretty fast. We're not going the flow of traffic. Big open area, having a lot of fun in Honolulu. Okay. We got a turn coming up, maybe? Looks like it. Looks like the road's turning. We're going a little too fast, really far down, and we started going towards the outside. So that paint line got you. Ooh, you see how many times his head hit? Or, yeah, whoever the rider is. So we're going too fast in the turn. Okay, we're going to see the turn coming up. So you see how the road just kind of disappears towards the right? So you see the guardrail at the very end. You see that right there? See the guardrail at the very end. So that means it's going to turn or turn. We don't know, but it looks more likely it's going to turn this way, especially if there's signage saying that it's turning a turn coming up. So we're going pretty fast. And why do we get shot out to the outside when we're going really fast, everybody? It's because we're going pretty fast. So slow down your speed. I know you want to have fun on that straightaway, but that turn's coming up quick. And this is what they teach you at a track. So if you're going to be doing this, go take a track class. They're going to teach you visibility. They're going to teach you vision. They're going to teach you how to judge things at these higher rates of speeds. So you could do this safely. Don't recommend it, but you know what? You guys are going to do what you're going to do anyways. You're just going to go. You're just going to do this anyways. Please just get the training so that you don't crash, okay? I want you guys to do this without crashing. There it is. So we started going a little bit too wide, and we have our tires go over the yellow line. So the reason why they went over the yellow line is because we're getting shot to the outside, and we're about to hit the shoulder, which could be possibly into the guardrail. So as soon as we hit that yellow paint, sometimes engineers and cities put granules inside the paint, so it's nice and grippy, almost like sandpaper, just like the road, but sometimes they don't. And this is what happens. So we're going too fast in a turn. So if we're going fast, it uses traction to go fast because it needs to have traction to spin the tires and for it to go. Think of like running without cleats on wet grass. So we need to have traction and we're going to propel ourselves. And then turning, same thing. We need to have some traction to turn. We also use traction when we're braking. So in this situation, it looks like we're going really fast using traction. We're turning using traction. And then we go into the yellow line, and that takes away traction. We need more. It's taking it away. And as soon as that happens, it just spilled over like a full cup, and then we dump the bike. Now, the big thing here is that we hit the ground. There's our right ankle, right foot, right knee, right hip, all the way up and down that right leg, right shoulder, right elbow, okay? And we're about to hit our head. Okay, there's all the areas. So once our body actually grabs traction too, when we're trying to stand up, it's a natural response. Now we're going to start hitting our coccyx. Whenever I get an opportunity to talk about the tailbone, I'm going to call it a coccyx because that's what it is. Yeah, we hit everything here. And now here's the impacts, okay? So let's go and go a little bit slower. So impact, 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 head. Impact, impact. So the spine too, because head is compressed. High impacts all around. And this is exactly why we wear full gear. So to be a smart rider, make sure you're acquiring and using personal protective equipment. Helmet, jacket, gloves, pants, boots, all motorcycle specific, full face helmet, okay? Hopefully he's doing fine. Bad situation, you can tell this chevrons, it was a sharp turn, just going a little bit too fast. So slow down your speed, everybody. Hopefully you guys can ride safe, be safe, and be a smart rider, all right? Come on now. Come on now.